you know.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
All right, boy, Trigger Man, back in the lab. And today, what we have here. Today, man, first off, I want to let you guys know, the guys that have watched the channel for a while, you know the body man we have. Some of you call him Hop Along. He had the bad hip, or he wobbling around all the time. I call him Stanky, but his name is Alan, okay? We lost Alan, okay? And when I say lost him, I don't mean we lost him as body man, we lost him in life. He passed on. So things been a little gloomy here at the shop. Yeah, we lost him actually here in the shop, you know. I wasn't here. I was at property getting a countertop installed, so I had took off that morning about 10 a.m. And around lunchtime, the boss found Stinky like next to his toolbox, and he had passed on. So the boss is down. He just can't get that out of his head, and the prepper. And I said I was gone, but yeah, man. So we lost Stinky. So R.I.P. Stinky, man. Yeah, he was a cool dude, man. You guys have seen him in videos. You see, he always come in with something slick to say. He was a cool dude. He can't take out door handles and mirrors, but he was an all right guy, man, and he will be missed, you know. So, yeah, so what we have here, these parts a guy brought in are for a Dodge Charger, I believe it is. It's one of those wide body kits or something, but I'm not really into those cars like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, but they are cheap parts. You see all these plastic, like these things had, you guys that deal with the aftermarket parts and some of the OEM parts, like they'll have that little edge of plastic where some of us, you know, will trim it off with a razor blade or sand it or however you go about it. But this had it all over the place. And body work, like there's a dent still across the front bumper. It's all just jacked up. I don't know where he, like the flares are actually the best part of it. But it all came in a big box, and it's garbage, man. The hood had grinding marks under the OEM, not OEM, the aftermarket primer, whatever they put on it. Grinding marks everywhere, dents everywhere. The boss went ahead and fixed some of the stuff for free. He told the guy, like all along this lip was like wrinkled and stuff, which he didn't fix that, but he fixed some big dents that were in it. And it's just garbage stuff, man. So I'm gonna go out and show you guys the car that it's gonna go on to. Even the car is a piece of crap, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna go take a look at it. Yeah, so like I said, the car is a piece of crap too. I hope the dude don't watch the Trigger Man. Hear me talking about his car, but brother, if you are, she's got a raggedy ride, man. So, you know, it's been painted before. It's got, I don't know if you can see it, it's got fish eyes all over it. It's got fish eyes. It's got a perfect match on the back bumper. I don't know if you guys can see that. Perfect match. Yeah, it's just some junk. Yeah, the whole car looks like it's been repainted. Looks like a rattle can guy did it. Yep. So, hey, what's up, little kitty? What's up, buddy? But yeah, so that's where we at, man. And guy, if you're watching the video, I apologize, but you got a raggedy ride, brother. So you should have brought that to the Trigger Man the first time you got it painted. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, man, get some paint on this thing. Paint code is PAU, which everybody knows is a pain. Yeah, everybody knows PAU is a pain in the butt. But considering we're doing it on some junk, it might be okay. So, but I got a good match. I matched it something to the body of the car, not that bumper. And yeah, it'll be all right, it'll be cool. That's gonna be the least of his worries, is this stuff that I'm about to do. But yeah, so that's where we at, man. So go mix up PAU and get to spraying.
Trigger man. Hey, bro. Man, I'm so sorry to hear about Stanky, brother. Man, that's awful, man. You lose your coworker. My condolences to you, Trigger, and everybody at the shop, bro, and his family. That's awful, man. I remember your videos from way back, man. He always hopping along in the background, you know? Some of the subscribers call him Hop Along. Man, you just never know, bro. Man, you guys, he was funny too, man. He always come in and say some old slick stuff. You know, like those old timers with all those slick things to say. Man, guy was funny, man. He's funny. He's scary looking dude too, but he's funny, bro. He's funny. Yeah, he will be missed. R.I.P. to Stanky. Alright, Trigger, I'll let you do your thing, brother. Spray on, brother. Spray on.
Okay, so right now putting on some adhesion promoter, and this right here is actually TranStar adhesion promoter, which I'm not crazy about, but for the Temu parts I think it'll be fine. I've said it many a times, I only like to use Bulldog, showing you guys where I'm barely pulling the trigger. When you're putting your adhesion promoter on, you really don't have to give such a full trigger and put it on real heavy. You really just need to mist it on there. So that's what I was showing you guys even earlier while I was spraying the flare parts there. Barely pull the trigger and just mist it on. You really just need a mist coat. You don't need like a heavy full wet coat of adhesion promoter on these parts. But of course, Mr. Pro Painter, feel free to chime in if you feel differently. Yeah, so again, they do have some type of primer on them, but only God knows what type of primer they use over in Shanghai where they made these parts. And yes, they did come from Shanghai. These parts came over from where when they had the bat soup, the soup that the bats were in, that made the whole thingy. Yeah, Wuhan. Yeah, that's where these were made, in Wuhan. Most definitely. Okay, so who knows what kind of primer they had. And the last thing I want to look at is this guy coming back with this crap with paint peeling off of it. So go ahead, do a little extra work. And to be honest with you, I was so numb while doing the video and painting these parts. It was like I didn't really even care. You know, I'm just doing it. So yeah, man, lost Stanky. So yeah, we've been kind of gloomy, man, at the shop. Everybody just kind of like blah. This video was about 2 weeks after, so it's been about 2 weeks now. We've had a few body men come in. Apparently things are slow out there in shops because we've had quite a few guys that are coming from pretty big shops too, but they said that the work out there right now is slow and they're not making any money. So yeah, man, that's one of the beauties about being on a salary. You know, when work slows down, you know, normally it's like you're just chasing the work, one shop to the next shop, this shop, that shop, and yeah, you get to a certain point to where, depending on the toolbox you got too. Like if you got one of those big huge toolboxes, jump shop, you know, work slows down, call a tow truck, pick up your toolbox, and go to the next shop, work there for a year, 2 years, then call a tow truck, move your toolbox again. So that's why I always used to travel light. I would start at a shop I don't even bring no toolbox. I bring my paint gun, my sander, and my refrigerator. Used to have like the refrigerator that's about waist high. Not the little one, but the one that's a little taller. In this one shop I remember I went to, the guy said, "Man, you bring a refrigerator before you even bring your toolbox. What's up with that?" I say, "Cause one thing for sure, Trigger Man gonna eat. One thing I'm not sure of is if Trigger Man gonna stay here. So my refrigerator is a lot easier to tote than picking up my toolbox and bringing it, you know?" So, but yeah, man, I used to, and I never really jumped around like that, you know? I said from the 90s, I probably worked at 5 shops, you know? I'm usually at a shop for years, you know? But yeah, man, yeah. I remember a dude asked me that. He's like, "Man, you bring your refrigerator before you even bring a toolbox." And that's what I told him. I was like, one thing for sure, man, I'm gonna eat every day, but I don't know how long I'm gonna stay. So, and then back then, us as painters, like they used to have little small painter toolboxes, you know. So I had it was a snap-on toolbox, but it was a West Coast Choppers. A lot of you guys that been around for a while, for a long while, you'll remember these boxes. You get them from the snap-on guy, and they had the Jesse James West Coast Choppers. Small toolbox. It held your paint guns. I think it would hold like 6 paint guns, if I'm not mistaken. But nothing like what they got nowadays. Nowadays, a painter has this big, huge toolbox, just like the body techs would have. Which, you know, everything's just commercialized now, and they do it for social media and for all. Ain't no painter need all of that, you know. Back in the days, painter had a small toolbox or a milk crate, you know. So all you need is a couple paint guns, your sander, some sanding blocks. That was it. Now it's like painter comes to the shop with all this big old toolbox coming in on the tow truck. He's putting up all these stands and all this fancy stuff, putting on his space suit, 3M VersaFlow with all the bells and whistles, filter, looking like goddamn ET. Then get in the paint booth and go to screwing up. Yeah, man, it's Hollywood stuff now, man. You know, it ain't like it used to be. You know, it's all Hollywood. I play along though. I have to, you know.
All right, brief interruption. I just want to make this announcement before I even start to apply the paint, okay? This job is not going to come out all that. My head is really not into it right now. Yeah, my head isn't in it. And you guys that paint, you know, whenever you got something on your mind, something ain't right, your paint job comes out accordingly. Luckily, this is all, you know, crap parts, so can't really, and the car is crap too, so it really can't mess up. But I didn't want to have at the end of the video say, "Oh, I just wasn't in it, that's why it looks like that." I'm letting you know ahead of time. Like, I'm gonna give 100%, but usually I go over and beyond. I try to, but it's not there this time. So I got the Bulldog down, got the 2K sealer down. So now we're gonna put the PAU, and we're gonna go from there, man. I mean, it's all just crap stuff, man. My head just ain't in it, man. Every time I walk by stinky area over there, I just be like, damn, stink, you know? So that's what it is, man. So get this PAU down and we keep going.
So it's actually been 2 weeks now since I shot this video. So I'm feeling a little bit better, you know? So I'm not as down, you know. It had just happened that week. So yeah, I feel a little better now. A little bit. At times, you know, at times. Especially at the end of my videos. You guys that watch for a while. Even you new guys, you know, like right at the end of the video when I'm out there looking at the job, showing you guys, like, they always come up and say something stupid, man. You know, that's like, that part there is going to be a real kick in the butt. But Yeah, man. Yep. So putting down some PAU. What was I with the story? Yeah. So yeah, back to these new guys. You know, I've seen this. Man, I can't count how many times. You know. And again, I've worked in shops where it's multiple painters, 5, 6 painters. You know. So you see it. You see it. You see the guy come with all the gear. You know, he's showing up, putting on his suit. Got his new suede boots, his Chelsea boots. You know, and us old dinosaurs who've been painting since we was painting Fred Flintstone car. You know, we done seen this act before. You know, we've been around. So, you know, you watch these suckers lace up their boots, tie their bandana around their head. So, man, and then they put out some crap. It's like, man, come on. But again, you know, I'm always humble. Always offer assistance to the pro painters, you know. Yeah, man. Then they'll blame it on the paint. But yeah. And then the ones that come in with crap, dirty guns, paint guns in a milk crate, those are the ones, man. They come in and they show off, boy. You know? So, I seen them come, seen them go, man. I was working for, here in Fort Lauderdale, it was called Westway Towing. It's big here. It's a company called Westway Towing. If you're in Broward County, you know about Westway Towing. They used to have a body shop called Recommended Auto Collision. There, I was working there. That's why I had 2 spray booths, 2 downdraft spray booths, 1 prep stall, and 2 preppers, you know, and it used to turn crazy hours. I won't even say it because you won't even believe it anyway. But yeah, so long story short, they hired a painter, another painter. His name was Ricky. Ricky was from Spain. Ricky, if you're out there, what's up? But yeah, Ricky came in with a milk crate and 3 spray guns, 2 Seder Jet 90s and 1 Segola. This was my first time ever seeing a Segola spray gun. He came in with the milk crate. He went in the office to talk to the people or whatever, and me and the preppers were looking at his paint guns, and we just laughing like, look at this, man. Dude don't even know what he's doing. Got these old dirty paint guns. Man, when I tell you Ricky came in there, his first paint job, I was like, wow. Dude can paint, man. From Spain. Dude can paint. And I learned a lot from him. You know, he had been painting way back in Spain when it wasn't even like no regulations, just painting, you know. And you can tell. But he was bad. Like I said in my last video, man, I painted along some legends. He wasn't really one of the legends that I hadn't heard about while I was in school. But meeting him and just seeing what he can do with what he had, that's skill, man. That's a skill, you know. Old dirty paint guns. Paint dried up on them. But that man he was awesome, you know. To my close friend, when I used to show him like, oh, look at his work, oh man, he no better than us, man. He no better. You know, sometimes you really just gotta give it up, man. When somebody really is that bad, awesome, good, you gotta give it up to him, you know. And he was one of them, you know. And again, I looked at him when he came in with all of his stuff, and I judged him. You know, this was still young in my career. And it's like, man, you can't, you know. That skill, what I be telling you guys to develop that skill versus all these different paint guns, that skill, man, it's there no matter what you have in your hand, no matter what spray gun you have. It's a skill, man. handful of painters that I've worked with, maybe 20, let's just round it, maybe 20 painters, but 5 of them will stand out to me for the rest of my career, you know. And it's a skill, man. And they had it, you know. They had it. No matter what type of gun you give them, cheap gun, expensive gun, no matter what it is, man, it's just develop the skill, guys. You know, give 100% in every job. No matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, give 100%. If the hours aren't there, give 100%, you know. I haven't worked on flat rate in I don't know how many years, long time. So I get it, but I gave 100%, you know. Back when I was at the dealership, it was Geico, I think it was called the ARX account, and then also they had Progressive. And if any of you guys ever worked on the Progressive account, you know the hours are less, you don't make as many hours, and the work it has to be perfect, basically. Like when those cars go back to the Progressive center where they check the vehicles, if you've ever gone there, and you'll see they put these cars under some kind of light. I don't know if it's a blue light, black light, whatever kind of light, and it'll pick up anything that's under that clear. That's the type of work you had to do to work on the Progressive account. And anytime you finish a job and they go and they take a bunch of cars back, and you see your car coming back into the bay with those markers, those marking writing around it, you already know it's like you got some rework to do. So working on those type of accounts, that's what helped to better me, you know. On top of me wanting to do great work anyway, you know, you get more work. I used to get a lot more work, but it had to be right, because you can't just send back anything on those Progressive accounts. And if you guys are out there and you've been in the field and you know you've been on those accounts, Progressive, chime in and let these guys know, you know. Again, I've been at this shop so long now, I don't even know if some of that stuff is phased out or how it's working now, but I know that that's what it was. And it was only certain shops that could even be on those accounts. And just no one would want to do those Progressive because it had to be perfect. You're going to make less hours. But the way I looked at it is making money regardless, you know. Do the work good. You know what comes with it. You know what has to be done. Do the work. Give 100%. Make your money, you know. So instead of a bumper giving you 5 hours, okay, it'll give you 3.5 hours. Just put the work in. Just look at it more like you're just investing in yourself, you know. A lot of these things I say, yeah, I look at it now that way. Back then I wasn't looking at it that way. I was just trying to look at it as just making money, you know. But as you get older, as I get older, and I look back at those things, I know that they just made me a better painter. What are you gonna do? Get mad about it? Get pissed off? Complain? And what's that gonna change, huh? Go find another job? There's gonna be another one there. It's gonna be somebody else there. There's always gonna be somebody somewhere or something somewhere. So just give 100%, man. Every time you load up that paint gun, man, give 100%. And eventually, you won't have to give 100%, because you automatically just be 100%. It'll just be habit, you know. And then that's when you get paid what you're worth. I got an email recently after that last video I did on, it's being a painter for you. Gentleman messaged me asking me about how much he should be getting paid. You should be getting paid what you feel you're worth. Okay? You know your worth. You know how good you are. You know how serious you take the trade. That's what you should be getting paid. That's not for me to answer. I'm not going to call out the gentleman's name or post his information, and if I'm not mistaken, he'd been painting for 15 years or so. So he's a seasoned painter. But, asking me what he should be getting paid and so forth. It's like when I first came to this shop here. I don't really look for jobs. I call paint reps. I have paint reps that I've known from late 90s, early 2000s, maybe 5 paint reps. Some have moved to different states, but we still keep in touch. I never burned bridges with them. So I can call a paint rep anytime and just like, hey, I'm looking for something. So I called this paint rep that got me this job here. I told him, I was looking for something. I came to meet the owner. He told me what he was paying. I told him what I wanted. And he said, no way, I can't pay anything like that. He's like, I'll give you this and that. I'll give you X amount. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not that kind of painter. Like, I know the type you're talking about, but I'm really not that kind of painter. And even though this shop, as you can see, it doesn't really call for a real, what I want to say. I want to say professional, but a real detailed, awesome painter. It's not really calling for that here, but that's who I am. So I told him, I said, I'm really not that type of painter that you're looking for, but I'll work for a week. And at the end of that week, you tell me if you'd be willing to pay me this amount. And sure enough, that same Friday, he paid me what I wanted, And it's because I know what I'm worth, What I'm worth may be overqualified for this shop that I work at, but that's still what I'm worth. And I'm not going to work for anything less than what I'm worth. A owner may have to come up and meet me where I'm at, but I'm not going to come down to just, to entry level or mid-level tier painter pay. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So again, develop the skill. I'm going to keep beating that in your head, man, you guys. Develop the skill and the pay will come, A lot of you guys that are probably new to the business, that are working in the flat rate shops, like a lot of you aren't even aware that shops will give you a guarantee. They'll give you a guarantee as far as on your hours. So like you're in a flat rate, say you make $22 an hour. When work slows up, there's not much work. So sometimes it'll go down to 20 hours, 40 hours. There's certain technicians that shops have that they give them a guarantee, meaning no matter how little of work we have, we guarantee you'll get 60 hours, 80 hours, 50 hours, whatever it be. And it's contracted. It's contracted from them to that technician. It's in writing. Most shops do that. But again, not for every just painter or body tech that just come run through the shop and, a dime a dozen type. No, you have to be skilled, an elite technician. Someone that's worth that to them, that they know they won't be able just to replace you like that with the next guy that comes walking through the door. And you'll never hear a technician tell you that either. oh, I'm on a guarantee. They're not going to tell you that. That's messing up their money. Like, they're guaranteed a certain amount of hours. So when you're complaining, they'll play along with you. Oh yeah, man, I only got 30 hours this week too, man. Like, oh. Meanwhile, no, they're guaranteed, and you'll never know it. So again, I'm not telling you this to get in your head. I'm telling you just to make you try to be a better technician, That's why I'm telling you this. I have talked to a few guys from the channel on here that I messaged privately that were letting me know where they were working, slowed down. They went from whether $3,000, $4,000 a week down to $1,000 a week, and they were good painters. Like, I would follow them on their Instagram. They would send me videos, like, damn good painters. And I told them, go to the owner, tell them you need a guarantee. And it worked. They got a guarantee. Well, 2 of them out of maybe 4 different people. 2 of them that at least got back with me and let me know, Trigger, it worked. They gave me a guarantee, 60 hours at least. So again, I know that they were skilled. I see their work. And they were the only painter there at the time and had been there for a while. So you'll get it. But you have to be that good. Now, I will say, surprisingly, on these parts, I don't even know how in the hell it's possible, but the parts came out fairly good for what they are. Like, the parts were rough. My mood was rough. And everything was just bad, but everything turned out good. Parts turned out clean. They weren't as messed up as they appeared to be with the primer on them. Like, they were just jacked up. Sometimes I don't understand this stuff. Now, it could be a car that I really tried to give 100%. went over and beyond, and it wouldn't come out half as good. But this actually came out good. That's why I broke it down, and I told you guys in the beginning, I'm like, it's not going to come out good. I'm letting you know now, because I really wasn't even in the mood for it. The car was a piece of crap. The parts are a piece of crap. And I wasn't in the mood. And anytime you walk in the booth and something's on your brain, you're just not in a good mood, your paint work reflects that. That's one thing I've learned doing this. Your mood will reflect your paint work. Veteran painters, drop a comment, let me know. Can you go in the paint booth in a bad mood, stuff on your mind, your girlfriend cheating, your dog just died, your car got a flat tire, your side girl pregnant, and you go in there and you spray a flawless job? I'm good, but I ain't that good. I ain't that good. No. No. And that's been the case for me for as long as I can remember. And yeah, you screw up something here and there, but 9 out of 10 times when something is on your mind, you're thinking about it, it reflects in your work. Because this ain't just changing a radiator, painting, no. This ain't filling a dent. Not to throw no jabs at nobody, man. But, adjusting a door, adjusting a part, or fixing a dent. Painting, no, this is in real time. You screw up, you have to wait a long time, to correct it. Can't go back and scrape it off or put extra hardener and block it down. No, you screw up with this, you screwed up, and you're waiting another day, Those are just facts, you know. Something screws up, you gotta wait, then go back into it and do it all over again. You can't just touch up a spot. You can't just fix, oh, that edge. Nah, you most of the time you gotta blend in. You gotta paint the whole thing, man. So again, I am actually surprised on how these Temu slash Shanghai slash Wuhan Scat Pack wide body kit came out. Again, under the circumstances right now, it came out pretty good. And I wanted to fly through it and get it done fast, so that's why I brought the WS400 Series 2. This gun does have a 1.4 tip, so with this gun I usually just fly around stuff. So it wasn't like I brought it in because I wanted some extra nice job. No, I brought it in because I just wanted to fly through this stuff and be done within a few minutes. Still giving 100%, but I wanted to get it done quick. Quick doesn't always necessarily mean less effort, okay? So yeah, that's what we got.
All right, we got it done. This is what we're looking like. This is what we're looking like. This is what we're looking like. So, you know, usually I take my little footage here and I go ahead and work on a video and get it done. So I guess I'll just put this stuff in like a little file and I'll wait until the vehicle is done and then I'll just show you guys everything. You know, normally I like to just throw this stuff together and put my video up and be done with it, but I guess for what it is, it's gonna go on that piece of crap out there. So I'll go ahead and yeah, just make one video with all of it together, before and after. So that's where we at, man. It's 2:30. I think I'm just gonna go home, man. I don't feel like being here. Stanky, man. You guys appreciate what you have and who you have, because it could be going the blink of an eye. But yeah, so tomorrow, I guess I'll get it out in the sun, show you guys what it looks like, and then like I said, I'll make a file, and then as the car, we don't even have a body man right now, so I don't even know how long this stuff is gonna sit. The owner of the shop does body work as well, so, you know, he'll probably start trying to put it together. I don't know, man, you know. And he's 70 years old himself, so just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. Catch you in the next one. All right. Next morning. Top of the morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is what we're looking like here. Seems like it's always the ones that you really, I'm gonna say don't care, but the ones that you expect to come out like crap, crappy cars, and then everything comes out good. Like this came out a lot better than I expected. And it was like the dent that I was telling you guys it's in here, like you can hardly even see it. Again, the guy brought his own parts, so it is what it is. But yeah, it came out really nice, you know. And right now is where Stanky would always come out and start talking crap. Remember with the hibachi video with the Hachika spray gun at the end? He's like, man, that looks like a damn Maserati hood. Just talking all kind of foolishness, man, you know. Times like that, you know, it's like, it will be missed, you know. Yeah, so again, came out fairly good, better than I anticipated. Much better than I anticipated. Well, so that's gonna do it, man. I'll see how long this thing sits around. We checked out a few body men came in. One came in with an ankle monitor on. A few came in like, nah, man. So we'll filter through a few, but yeah, so depending on how long this thing is here, you know, I'll try to help work with the owner to put it together, to assemble it. You know, I don't know much about this stuff. I don't really deal with this, nor do I care to learn. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. And we'll see, you know. Yeah, so we'll see. If it sits around too long, I'm just gonna wrap it up, and this will be the end of the video. But if somehow we start getting it together, putting it together, I'll at least get a few clips of something for you guys, see what it looks like, okay? Yeah, man, again, RIP Stanky, man, if you're watching. I know you're watching, but yeah, it will be missed. At the end of the day, man, it's only a spray gun. Now go ahead and have fun.
Okay, so like I said, it's been about 2 weeks now, and the car is still not put together. The owner did do the rear bumper. I'm not sure if he's finished with it, but I did take a still picture of it. He started putting on one of the little side flares. So this is actually what that looks like. And that's all he's done so far. So that's all I got. And I can't wait no more. I need to put this stuff out and keep rolling. Okay. So again, RIP Stanky. Yeah, man, you guys just appreciate what you have, who you have at the moment, because it can be gone just like that, man. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please drop a comment, give a share, thumbs up, and God bless. Catch you in the next one. Peace.